Today we'll be talking about the music scene in Dayton, Ohio. I'm Kyler. So for a quick overview, we'll be talking about the history, popular genres and artists, a specific band that we did named Safari, and some venues.
So I'm Jacob. Basically, Dayton has heavy roots in jazz and funk. Dayton's always been kind of a jazz center. Dayton's also commonly known as the land of funk. And also there's heavy ties to reggae as well in Dayton. And recently, so far, more alternative types of music have been introduced into Dayton.
Cool. So some popular artists. Guided by Voices is a band from Dayton. Guided by Voices was an American indie rock band originating from Dayton. It made frequent personnel changes but always maintained the presence of its principal songwriter, Robert Pollard. Noted at first for its lo-fi aesthetic and typically ports audio 4 tracks to cassette production methods. Guided by Voices music reveals influences from post-British invasion garage rock, psychedelic rock, progressive rock, punk rock, and post-punk. Another band from Dayton is Boys Parada. They're an American Christian melodic metalcore band from Dayton, formed in 2005, consisting of members Mike Chronica, Jeremy DePastier, Andy Trick, and Daniel Williams. The band had maintained its original lineup until keyboardist James Bainey left the band. And then I have pictures of each of these bands, Guided by Voices, and then Boys Parada is on the right. Some popular genres. Indie pop and alternative is a popular genre. Alternative is a genre that emerged in the music scene in the early 1980s and 90s. It's called indie because a lot of it was produced independent of record labels and companies, as it didn't really fit into any of the categories that were popular at the time. Guided by Voices is an example of this genre. Another popular genre, as Jacob mentioned earlier, is jazz. It's a type of music characterized by improv, syncopation, and usually a regular or forceful rhythm emerging at the beginning of the 20th century. Jazz is, like I said, a big part of the music scene in Dayton. And then reggae is also another one. It's a style of popular music with a strongly accented subsidiary beat originating in Jamaica. Reggae evolved in the late 1960s from ska and other local variations on calypso and rhythm and blues.
Hi, I'm Owen. One of modern reggae's most dynamic live performers, Safari, has been an icon of the reggae scene for many years, and he's from Dayton, Ohio. He brings authentic reggae with a unique naturalistic twist, and he has a reputation for being a unique artist who appeals to fans of all ages and backgrounds. He's headlined dozens of major reggae festivals across the United States, including Bob Marley's festival tour for 3 consecutive times. In recent years, he's performed for hundreds of thousands of reggae fans from Vegas to Detroit, from Chicago to Kansas City. And he's also performed at Dayton's Third World Reggae Festival for 16 consecutive, every year that it's been, the festival's been in place. So, and he's actually coming to Ball State. So on November 5th, 5 p.m. at the Multicultural Center, he's going to perform and hang out, and it's actually a amazing taste global food fair. So I guess you can eat some global food.
Okay, my name is Ryan Miller. I did venues. So one of the major ones is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's basically where people get indicted into the legendary status of the greats in rock. They host inaugurations, and also they host live shows, which is pretty cool. They also have a museum section, which is admissions like $32. Another one that I found was Gillies. It's basically like a prominent jazz and blues band. It counts as a half bar, and it's been open since 1972. Pretty interesting. Lots of new age and underground musicians come through, but you do see some oldies. Okay. Rose Music Center, if you guys have ever been to Fishers, Indiana, it's most similar to like Klipsch. It's basically like it's a big dome, and very good. They have a lot of variety of music. It's not just jazz and blues like the other Gillies. They also have 80s rock, pop, and yeah. The other one is Riverskate Metro Park. And this is actually interesting because they have festivals here. They have Reggae Festival, respectively September 3rd, and then the Blues Festival, July 16th. It's basically they just take a part of the park, and then they put a big tent over it, so you can see in the picture there.
So basically, to wrap up, Dayton has a lot of genres that it accommodates. There's multiple historic venues for jazz, rock, whatever. Dayton is a pretty great place for any musician.